We're here with Virginia Hare of Farscape and Mad Max and many other wonderful movies. And as we're going to be covering Farscape within Shorebitch's nether regions, can you describe Farscape?
Well, it's a sci-fi show developed by the Jim Henson Company. Brian Henson is the creative genius behind it. Jim Henson passed away, unfortunately, and left the Jim Henson Company legacy to his son. And Brian Henson was very young at the time and keen to really show the world the next generation of the Jim Henson Company. So he invented Farscape kind of like a resume as his showreel, if you like. So he produced it so that it was the best production that he could do, the most incredible creatures. Jim Henson Company Creature Shop, of course, is famous all over the world for exquisite creatures, really extraordinary animatronic creatures, and extraordinary makeup, beautiful costuming, a little bit of special effects. Special effects at the time, it wasn't that long ago, but there was less of a budget in those days for special effects. These days special effects are very cheap because you can get them, I don't know, digital, is that right? You do digital special effects, but back in the day it was a little bit, even 10 years ago, it was a little bit more expensive to make them. So, but it's a sci-fi set in the uncharted territories, in a fictitious region of the universe, and it centers around a living ship. She's a bio ship carrying prisoners, and I'm one of the prisoners. I play an alien, a lovely alien priest who's 800 years old from planet Delvia, and she's a political assassin. And there's various other aliens, obviously all aliens, and Noah's from on this prison ship, who have all committed dastardly crimes. And suddenly this Earthling gets stuck in a wormhole from NASA. Earthling from NASA gets stuck in a wormhole and gets sucked up by this living ship called Moya. And that's where it begins. And then it's a fantastic show that went on for quite a few years. All about this Earthling's experience living in the world of aliens, and everyone getting used to him and him getting used to us, and we break free of prison and off we go into the wild blue yonder as a load of absolute lunatic criminal aliens with one Earthling who's completely flabbergasted and lost, like what the hell. So we become this dysfunctional family, existing in outer space, and it's hilarious, it's serious, it's quirky, it's downright odd, and it's not, you may imagine being Jim Henson that it's for tiny children, but oh no, it's not. It's for adults, it's challenging, thoughtful, it's brilliant. Definitely there's more people enjoying it now and coming on board now than there ever was before. So every week I meet new fans of Farscape. So I thoroughly encourage you, if you've never seen Farscape, to give it a go. Well worth it.
And how would you describe your own character?
She's a political assassin, and she was thrown into jail for murdering an evil dictator, and she was thrown into jail by what's called the peacekeepers, who were the evil dictator's army, and she was chucked into jail forever. But she was a scientist, as well as being super spy and political assassin, like a bit of James Bond, but blue alien. She just happened to be also a brilliant scientist and a doctor. And while she was in prison, we presume that, we know that she also, I was distracted by windows being open. It's very hot today, so we think, oh, windows are.
It is indeed, yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. So we presume that while she was in prison, you know, she found her God, and the Delvians, she's a Delvian from Delvia, are very spiritual as well. They're peace-loving. She's the only Delvian that was able to access violence in her. Any violence on the planet leads to death. No Delvian is able to experience violence. It literally kills them. Their eyes go red and they die. But she's the only Delvian on the planet that's able to experience violence and live. So this was something of great agony for her to try and deal with. So she found God and she became a priest as well. So she's this delicious mix of priest, scientist, doctor, and political assassin. So it's a joy to play a role that's that complex. It's an amazing character.
And that's how Zotoh Zhaan, if memory serves. Yes.
Perfect.
What was it like for the makeup as well? How long was the procedure to put the
I
makeup
was going
on?
to say, be more specific, because I'm such a logical person to don't pinpoint what you want to know. No, well, as you imagine, it would be, you can see that it's quite complex. And it took about, there's another picture as well, sorry. You can see just a little bit more in this one.
See if I can actually. There we go.
And there's another picture as well that shows just a slightly different angle.
And also, of course, the Delvian language by the side.
Oh yes, a
I
little
presume.
bit. Well, actually, that's Moya language, and you can see a few more images up there, just so you have and the nice little cartoon at the top right is interesting.
Such beautiful contacts as well.
Yes, the contact lenses were amazing. They're handmade for me. Yeah, so the makeup process was about 3.5, 4 hours. It's about 3.5 on average every day, and 1 hour to take it off at night.
That's not too bad, Dave. Just an hour at the end. And I heard you talking earlier about problems with the makeup specifically for yourself.
Yeah, I usually don't go into that on camera because it's kind of depressing to get into, and I want people to really enjoy the character and to love her and not to ever think while they're watching it, oh gosh, the makeup was harming her body. That's, in person I sometimes tell people if they want to know, but if anything is going to live forever on the internet, I want people to know what an amazing character she was, how hard I worked, to make her as beautiful and complex as she was. And so, the side effect was that the makeup was very damaging. Because it's Australia, the unions, at the time the unions weren't used to that sort of prosthetic makeup. They didn't realise that was makeup for TV. It's perfectly, no, I beg your pardon, for film. That makeup is perfectly safe and legal to be used on film, for film work, which is anything 3 months, 6 months. But really, it shouldn't have been used in a long-term television show where you're wearing it 16 hours a day, every day for years. You are going to be damaged. But besides that, I just want people to know how gorgeous she was. That's the least of their worries. That's something for me to worry about, not for you to worry about.
And of course, other than Zhaan, who was your favourite character on the show?
That's like asking someone who their favourite child is. If someone's been in the series for a very, very long time, you can't ask that question because it has no answer. Because you love each one individually. But if I was forced to choose, let's say for what reason, for emotional reasons, I would say Stark, who actually was Zhaan's lover. He was a beautiful character. And they resonated with each other on a more of a sort of spiritual level. And his job, he's an alien from another planet, and his job was to help people cross over. And he wears a mask, and his job is half of his face is masked. And when people are dying, he he takes the mask off and they're blasted with this transport system that transports them from where they are into the next realm. And then once they're gone, he puts the mask on. I mean, he's a really incredible character. It's a very beautiful story.
And you mentioned earlier the animatronics.
Yeah.
With them being so lifelike and realistic, did you ever find yourself talking to them when the cameras weren't rolling?
No. No. I think someone just visiting the set might be tempted to do that, but when you're working with them all the time, you have a very logical sense of what they are, which is they're animatronic characters that come to life when you're acting, but as soon as the director says cut, they're switched off. So they're not... Do you know what I mean? They're not activated. If they were left on all the time, you might be tempted, and if they were able to speak, but they're not real, so no.
And of course today here at Wakefield Comiccon, as well as the signing, you're here selling some soaps that you've handcrafted yourself, I believe.
I've handcrafted, yes, and there's the information there. Yeah. And I've been making perfumes for so many years, it's probably 30, 40 years. When I was little, it all started, Mum used to, instead of putting plastic ducks and plastic toys into the bathwater when I was a toddler, she'd put flower heads from the garden, because we lived in Sydney, Australia, where it's hot and there's flowers all year round. So she'd just put whatever flowers were blooming in the garden and she'd put them in the bathwater for me to play with, but also she would teach me to distract me, teach me how to make a garland of flowers. And that's why my company now is called White Flower Lei. A lei is a Hawaiian garland of flowers, and it just reminds me of Mum, because a lot of the flowers that we had in the garden were plumeria, which I think in this country you call frangipani. And the frangipani are very easy to make a garland out of. You just split the bottom of the flower, you push another flower through, then you split the bottom of that one, you push another one through, and so forth until you make a necklace of flowers. And that necklace of plumeria or frangipani is called a Hawaiian lei in Hawaii. So that's why I named the company that. But so she would distract me at bath time, as I said, instead of with plastic toys, with real flowers. And the flowers would, the oil, the natural perfume oils from the flowers would go into the bathwater. And so I would be sitting in the world's most naturally beautiful perfume. And it was just very gentle. It would only be a few flowers, and so my skin would smell beautiful. That's not why Mum did it. She did it to distract me. But the thing is that I was spoiled to death in that as a toddler I got used to beautiful natural perfume, working with natural oils, and not working with, but experiencing natural oils. And so, of course, when I was 16 and wanted to wear a perfume, there's no way I would buy some rubbish, fly spray smelling stuff from a shop. So I was making perfumes from probably about 15, actually. I was making them. And so now I don't have an investor or anything like that, so it's not a big exercise like a big supermodels, that's fully funded by millions and millions of pounds put into, the business. So it's just my personal love, my personal hobby, and instead of carting around perfumes to the conventions, it's much easier for me to make the little soaps. Yeah. And they're glycerin, they're beautiful, and they're all natural. And I just love it. It's a way of spreading some love and giving people an opportunity to experience gorgeous perfumes that they may not have already experienced. And I handmade them all myself and sell them at shows. If you want to know where you can get my gorgeous soaps, then you can come to a convention, a Comic-Con, anywhere in the US, in the UK, and also doing some shows in the US. And on my website, Virginia Hay, you have the spelling there, Virginia Hay. So if you go to virginiahay.com,
right down there at the bottom.
Down there, yeah. I have an appearance page, so come and see me, and hopefully I'll bring some soaps with me. If you're interested in perfumed products, then And also lots of cool conversation and pictures available. But here's where, have a look, Mr. Camera, have a look at the website address where you can get them online as well.
There you go.
And they're all handmade and everything handmade by me alone. It's very unusual in this day and age because most soaps are mass produced. You buy them in the store and you know they're made by the hundreds of thousands, but each one of these is just made one by one by me. Sorry?
And when is the next con that you're at?
The next one, well, it's all on my website. I can't recall. I think it's Worcester, the Worcester Comiccon. But have a look at the site because I can't remember the dates. Oh, I can hang on. If you're asking me, I'll have to look. I do so many of them. I never know where I am from week to week. One moment, please. I think it's Worcester, and I think it's towards the end of this month. Might be something like 21st here. It is. There you go. See? Have a look. See? I was right.
There we go. There we go.
There you go. See, I'm right. Remember.
Yay!
So it is Worcester, and it is the 21st. And yeah, it's on at the University of Worcester Arena. So that'll be a good one. And then after that, I'm doing a Starburst International. Starburst magazine have had me do quite a few articles with them. I've been on the cover a few times. They're really, really cool magazine. So they've got a film festival, so I'm appearing at that. Then I'm off to America. Anyway, you can have a look at my website.
Yep. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome. Pleasure to talk to you. See you, everybody.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.